Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is very early morning, September 12th, 2017, and I'm here to give you another video update. This is Storm Spotter for the National Weather Service, Timothy Breault, coming to you with another video of the North American monsoon and where we're at. We currently just got over a transition period, or semi-transition. That low, believe it or not, that affected us for a couple days is still sitting up right about here where this arrow is, where this hand is here. And the low is still spinning up around, but starting tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably into early Friday, this low is going to move eastward across the Rockies, northern and central Rockies, and it's going to wrap some cold air from Canada into it. And elevations above 6,000 feet for areas of northern Utah, northern Colorado, Idaho, and Montana have a chance of some snow. That's right. And I said snow. I'm not joking. Chance of snow. So, well, you're probably wondering what all these dots are down here, right? Well, we're looking at a tropical map right now, and these are areas of interest. Now, we do have one that has developed into a tropical depression. It's called 15E. The winds are currently 30 miles per hour. The central pressure is 1,006 millibars, and it is moving off to the west at about 14 miles an hour, or 12 knots. So this system, isn't going to affect us. We're not going to have to worry about it. It's not going to be a hindrance to us in any way. There's some other areas here, some disturbances. There's another says an area of low pressure is expected to form several hundred miles southwest of the Baja Peninsula during the next couple of days. After that time, the environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for gradual development while it moves slowly northward. Okay, so formation within 48 hours is only at about 10% or so, but it has a medium chance, about a 60% chance, almost over 50 is... 60 and up is considered likely development, so this has a likely chance of developing into a tropical system, and it's going to have to be watched very closely. Now, we could have two systems in unison that are going to move northward, right up this way here. This one move north, and then this one move north. But this one with the low pressure that's coming in here might drive this north and then into either northwest Mexico or in through southwestern New Mexico into West Texas, or it could move up through into the California area and bring some rain and wind up that way. Now, we're also going to look at this one. It says a trough of low pressure located a couple hundred miles south of the southern coast of Mexico is producing widespread disorganized showers and thunderstorms. The environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form toward the end of the week while the system moves slowly northwestward. Formation through 48 hours out is a medium chance, about 50% or so, and formation chance through 5 days is high at 70% or more. So this one is going to move north and probably dissipate. Now 15E is going to move westward and not affect any parts of the southwest in terms of rainfall or wind or anything like that. But now we just had the Atlantic that was active. It's kind of dying down a little bit now. We have Irma that's up here and dissipating, becoming a remnant low tonight. And Jose is off the screen here. But it too, depending on how it behaves, could move towards the Carolinas and then up the eastern seaboard sometime this coming weekend or early next week. So we'll keep you guys posted on that one. But that is not known at this time, whether it's going to interact with land or not. Right now it's doing loop-de-loops or donuts out in the Atlantic Ocean, just to the east of the Bahamas right now, bringing the Bahamas in big waves, but no damaging rain or winds as of right now. It's too far to the east to really have any impact on them. So anyways, now the East Pacific, we start looking this time of year. Now, Lydia formed 2 weeks ago in this general vicinity and then moved kind of like this and then out to the ocean. It brought some light showers and thunderstorms to parts of Yuma, Ajo, and then it rained a little bit in San Diego, then in Los Angeles. But the cutoff low that was affecting us a couple days ago brought some showers and thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, and early Saturday across much of Arizona. East Valley, far East Valley, picked up about an inch of rain out towards Apache Junction, my area, about a tenth to a quarter of an inch. And then it shut down quickly. The low retrograded west because of the high pressure moved in. And now the storm is spinning off here and brought heavy rains to Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, and San Francisco for the last 2 or 3 days. It's been pretty stormy. We've had several severe thunderstorm warnings and isolated tornado warnings across the area, but no confirmed reports of tornadoes, not that I know of anyway. But we have had some hailstorms with hail up to golf ball size out of the stronger storms, and some of those storms up in this California, Central California, Southern California, has taken on some supercell structures. Tomorrow, another day of that, but most likely it will increase in coverage as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, and into early Friday, as the low is going to track through Central California and drag a cold front down in through Southern California and Arizona. Now, the moisture ahead of it is not going to pull up a whole lot of moisture at all. Okay, so we're not looking for a lot of moisture to be moving into the desert Southwest. Maybe parts of, Tucson, east of Tucson, the White Mountains of the Mongolian Rim might get some isolated showers and thunderstorms. No snow is expected. It's not going to get that cold, but lows will drop into the low 40s to upper 30s in the Flagstaff during the nighttime period. And if it precipitates, it most likely will still come down as rain. But at the highest peaks, around 12,000 feet or so, we could be looking at a few wet snowflakes coming down across the area. So we'll keep you guys posted as far as the projection of the models and in terms of what we're actually going to see as far as the precipitation. So we go 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook, and it's just going to give us an idea, what we got going on here and what track these storms, if they form, are going to take. So here's 15E. It's going to move out to the west and harmlessly don't affect anybody. It won't do anything but probably bring a couple of big waves to the southern tip of Baja here. This one, if it moves north and holds together, it's most likely going to move up here and then eventually into colder water and dissipate, but might help to bring some moisture into the desert Southwest, as far as Southwest California perhaps. But this one is the most likely culprit here. This one is going to move to the northwest like this, and then either come to the west like Lydia did and track up here and then weaken, or a trough may form that will lie across the desert Southwest here, a relatively dry trough, and interact and bring it up like this into through about here, and then turn it and go into New Mexico. So New Mexico, you're going to have to be watched the next couple of days here, as the models are all over the place on what to do with this. But the most likely disturbance is going to be this one that we're going to have to worry about here, the one with a 70% chance. This one most likely will move north and then either turn westward or move north into colder water, and it really won't affect much of the desert Southwest unless these two combine and become one large disturbance, which is also a very, very slight possibility at this time, and that is not a likely scenario. It has happened, though. One storm ingesting another and then becoming one large hurricane. So that has happened. So now that we're talking about the Eastern Pacific here, likely becoming active across the area. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. There's no nutshell or case closed scenario right now about the tropics as far as what's going to form. Now, let's just take a quick look at Jose. We want to see what he's doing out there. And, you just want to keep an eye on him. We'll take a satellite imagery real quick and just show you what he's doing. He's currently a Category 2 to very weak Category 3 status as far as a hurricane is concerned. I'm going to see if I can loop it for you. And if I can get it to work, congratulations to this website, NOAA. Sometimes I just have some difficulty on my laptop, but it's not my laptop, it's a friend's laptop. But either way, here we go. The storm's starting to re-energize itself. We have one area of convection off to the east that's starting to explode, and this one really becoming well organized. Very cold cloud tops, with the white here being around 85 to 90 degrees Celsius. So that's some pretty high and very cold cloud tops. So the storm, it's really, it's just floating around out there right now, harmlessly in the meantime. Okay, so, but let's just take a look what the forecast points to, what it's looking at, what we're looking at right now in terms of storm activity. So, right now it's a Category 1. It has weakened to a Category 1, but it looks like it's strengthening. Going to be a Category 1, might stay a Category 1, and it may just, it could move into North Carolina or South Carolina this coming weekend as a relatively weak hurricane, maybe up to Category 2 status. Or it just may go out to sea. Some of these models bring it right out to the sea, or just leave it there and then drag it north and then out of the area harmlessly, and doesn't affect the area at all. So it's not known what's going to happen with that storm as of right now. So we'll just keep you guys posted on it. I'm trying to get into the internet again here. There's a couple of things I want to show you. I want to show you the CFS model, and I want to show you the GEFS model over here right now. So we'll see if we can pull that up for you, just to give you an update on what's going on, to see if we can actually, make a better forecast for you of these tropical systems, especially in the East Pacific right now. Need to be watched closely for potential development and possibly bringing rainfall to the desert southwest. And the GFS is still the outlier right now. It brings the storm, the one that's supposed to form, through New Mexico and West Texas, and brings no rain to the desert southwest whatsoever. I'm not buying that at the current time. Here's an interesting little video right now. It kind of just shows, so, Hurricane Jose's path mapped. Where is the Hurricane Jose now, and where is it heading next? So, it's mapped out here for you, and it's a video you can watch if you want to watch it. It comes up through the UK news or something like that. But again, it just tells you, what's a possibility with the storm. You can also check NOAA if you want. So, we can quickly go down to hurricanes just to show you guys down here. We'll go down to hurricanes just to see what we think right now that models are going to do with Jose. And if it's going to be, a threat to land, it's not really known at this time. There's some confusion in the models, for sure. So definitely nothing to really get too worried about just yet. Jose right now is currently a harmless storm out there and not posing any direct threat to land. But this is where the models get a little confusing. Right now he's located right here north of the Bahamas, and it's going to do a loop, come down, move south, then it's going to turn, according to this model, and move to the northwest. It may dissipate at this point, or turn and go out to sea north of Bermuda, or it could hit South Carolina or North Carolina as a weak hurricane or strong tropical storm. The highest category, if it were to hit the Carolinas, will most likely be a 2. I'm not expecting a major hurricane at this time, but still it's going to bring winds, strong winds up to 100 miles an hour on the coast, some coastal flooding, heavy rainfall, and some gusty winds blowing around some trees and stuff, some downed tree limbs, and a couple shingles blown off. Could definitely be a possibility if this were to maintain 1 or 2 status category and crash into the Carolinas. But again, I'm not going to scare anybody because that's not known right now at this time what is going to happen with that storm. But anyways, it's got winds of 85 miles an hour right now. It's moving northeast at 6, and it's going to do its turn, so to speak. You got experimental wind, what they think is going to happen with the storm, the path of it. You can see by Friday at 8 p.m. it's located right here, the winds. And you can see the Carolinas, little parts of East Florida, a little part of Georgia, and the Carolinas right now, if the storm were to maintain hurricane strength, could move in as a Category 1, perhaps a 2, but most likely a strong tropical storm to a weak Category 1 status right now is what we're looking at if this takes this path. But again, it is too early to tell whether the storm is actually going to hit the U.S. mainland again. But most likely, I can tell you for sure, most likely 95% chance that it will not be another major hurricane, which would be a Category 3 or stronger in terms of its strength of winds and central pressure across the area. So I don't think it's going to crash as another 3rd major hurricane. I'm not expecting that. Again, our prayers are with Florida. There's only been a few lives lost, thank God. I wasn't thinking it was going to be a super deadly storm for the U.S., and thank God it hasn't been so far. There's been a few deaths, but nothing major. Of course, we want no deaths from any storm. And our prayers are with those people that lost their lives and their families, and people just recovering from the storm. It came in and hit the Florida Keys as a Category 4, and just really made a mess. You know, they got a lot of cleanup